Job interviews are not fun. So if you're going to do a job interview, you probably should do it right. That way, you have a great interview and you don't have to do more of them. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to pass a job interview in 2025. Let's go. All right, so I've been in recruitment for 15 years. I've sat in the corporate side, I've sat in the agency side, and I've interviewed thousands and thousands and thousands of people. In today's video, I'm going to teach you what you need to do so that in 2025, you nail your interview. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to not wing it. When it comes to job interviewing, one of the most important things you can do is to prepare effectively. The job market is very competitive. Interviewing for great jobs is very competitive. And therefore, you're going to need to stick out. And part of the way you stick out is you prepare fully. Now, preparing doesn't mean you know every single thing about a company. You also want to make sure you're being a good steward of your time. And you're spending the right amount of time preparing and not too much, not too little. So what do you need to know? Well, as a candidate, it's really important to know about the company. What does the company do? What is their product or service? What are their values? You need to know about recent company events. So you want to search in Google, write in the company name, and click on news articles. And you want to read some of the recent things that have happened in the company. And third, you want to be really familiar with the job description. It's critically important that you understand exactly what this person is responsible for on a day-to-day basis, and then be able to articulate why you would be a good fit at this job and what you have done in your previous jobs that set you up for success on this job. Those are the things you need to prepare for. The next thing you need to be able to do is you need to be hyper effective at telling your story, specifically hero stories. What are the things you have accomplished in your career that are worth mentioning in a job interview? What I always tell people to do is if you have been at 4 companies, for example, what I want you to do is look at each one of those 4 stints and pick out the most impressive thing you did in that interview. Then I want you to familiarize yourself with everything you did. If it was a project, what was the project? How long were you on it? What was your role? What was the main takeaways? What was the outcome? You want to familiarize yourself with these hero stories so that when you're in your interview, you're prepared to articulate what you have done that has brought value in previous organizations. These stories are the stories that really make you stand out. So you want to be prepared to tell these stories in an interview. Often, these hero stories can be great answers to interview questions they are asking. So you want to make sure you familiarize yourself with your hero stories and be prepared to articulate exactly what it is you did so you can come off as a great candidate. By the way, if you want to be like the best candidate possible and give yourself like a 99% chance of nailing your next interview, I want you to go down to the description box below. That first link, that is the link to my full interview prep guide. It is essentially like having me personally prepare you for your next interview. Now, this guide is a full, robust guide with 25 personalized videos that I have created to help you become the best candidate possible. It has different templates you can use to reach out and message recruiters, hiring managers, and HR people, and it has exercises to run you through that help you become the best candidate possible and be prepared to tell your story in your interview. The next thing you need to do is you need to be prepared to demonstrate passion in the interview and value alignment. Now, these are different things, but you need to be able to demonstrate both of these in an interview. How do you demonstrate value alignment? Well, what you do is you go to the company's website, you go to the About Us page, and then usually there they talk about their values or their culture, whatever they're going to call it. You want to make sure you familiarize yourself with these and you understand their guiding principles or their cultural principles or their cultural values. And when you're in the interview and they ask you, why are you interested in working here? You can say, well, one of the things that was really appealing to me is one of your values is integrity. And integrity is always really important to me. And I really like the fact that that's one of the things the company holds dear, right? That's a way you can demonstrate that you have value alignment with the organization. The other thing is demonstrating passion. Passion is important because it's a differentiator. When a hiring manager is interviewing 2 different candidates and they're both equally qualified, if one demonstrates a lot of passion and enthusiasm for the role and the company and what they do for their career, that is going to stand out and give them the edge over someone who does not. So it's really important in a competitive market that you're demonstrating value alignment and passion for the role that you want to do. Another thing that's really critical is knowing the most common interview questions that you're going to get asked in your interview, and then be prepared to answer these interview questions. And in order to help you do that, I made this video here. This video here is the most common questions you're going to get asked in a job interview, and I kind of teach you how to answer them and give you answers for these interview questions. So I'm done here, but I'll see you over there.